Good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the 226th weekly webinar of AABN, a platform that continues to thrive through the passion, commitment, and collaboration of our vibrant entrepreneurial community. Just a week ago, on 7th September 2025, we celebrated a major milestone, our 225th webinar, held in conjunction with the auspicious occasion of Ganesh Puja. The event was a true celebration of spirit and purpose brought to life by our dedicated members and esteemed guests who graced the occasion with their presence. We were honored to host Dr. S. Lata, Director of the Center for Cyber Forensics and Information Security, University of Madras, whose insights added immense value to our journey. As we move forward, AABN embraces a renewed vision to create extraordinary value for entrepreneurs through enduring experiences, meaningful dialogue, and a culture of continuous learning. Our foundation is built on values that guide every step we take: integrity, agility, efficiency, collaboration, sustainable development, respect for the entrepreneurial community. On behalf of the core committee, I extend heartfelt gratitude to all our stakeholders for your unwavering support and belief in our mission. Today, we are truly privileged to host a remarkable individual, Mr. Kevin M. Shah, peer thought strategist, author, advocate of empowered entrepreneurship, Managing Director, Kevin Enterprises Private Limited. Kevin is known for his deep commitment to co-creating strategic, people-centric solutions with upward bound entrepreneurs. His philosophy of empowered entrepreneurship champions leadership that is future forward, empathetic, and deeply engaged with culture and values. With over 25 years of entrepreneurial experience in the chemical processing equipment industry, Kevin brings a rare blend of technical expertise and strategic foresight. His journey is captured in his compelling business autobiography, Unshackle the Elephant in the Mind, a story of breaking mental barriers and unlocking true potential. As a motivational speaker, coach, and mentor, Kevin is celebrated for his ability to guide transformative journeys that align business goals with personal purpose. Today's session will be unlike any other: no slides, no formal presentation, just raw, real storytelling from a leader who has walked the path and now lights the way for others. Let us let us lean in, listen deeply, and open our values. Welcome once again, and thank you for being part of the journey of growth and empowerment. Thank you, and over to you, Kevin.
First of all, I must take this opportunity and thank each one of you for having invited me. But there is a small story behind this, and I thought I will share it with you, especially because I saw the number of people that are sort of complimenting Gopiji for making sure that this keeps on happening. And I was very pleased to note that I'm coming in after almost 250 of these sessions. So I would like to uh, congratulate Gopiji. But the small story behind that is perhaps Gopiji, you may also not recall. Uh, Gopiji used to work for my competitor, and many years ago, I would say it would be at least about 25 plus years ago. I happened to be in Chennai. I am from Mumbai. I happened to be in Chennai, and I was visiting Tamil Nadu Petro Products, and so was he. And we kind of met over there for the first time. And from there, I was going to go to Madras Refinery. And he asked me that, do you have any appointment inside? And I said, I really don't have any appointment. I'm just going to make a cold call and see if I can wriggle my way in. And he said, it's very tough over here with the central security and all that. And he was kind enough to have driven me from Manali back to Chennai and then over there to the refinery and all that. And he made sure that I go inside because he had so many contacts. And that contacting and networking is still going on today. And that left a very fond memory of that. And that was there somewhere parked in my archives, that memory. And I'd forgotten everything about Mr. Gopi. Many years later, he happened to meet one of my employees, and after he after he retired from his position, and she just happened to mention to him, because when he said that he's arranging these kind of talks, that maybe you can contact Mr. Kevin Shah. And he did contact me, and I immediately picked it up because. So I would like to say that we had a connect maybe 25 years ago, and that's why I'm here today. So thank you so much, and I would like all of you to join me in giving a big hand to Mr. Gopi for doing this. 225 is not a small joke. It's a huge endeavor. Thank you so much, Gopi ji. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So I'll get to. I'm a storyteller, and I personally believe that there should be no childhood without a story. And I believe that adults are also nothing but grown-up children. So today I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you my story. And my story begins in the August of 1987, when I had just completed my 12th standard exam, and I was off to America to pursue my degree in engineering. Being the only child, my parents were very doting, and they actually came to USA. They couldn't really afford it, but they stretched themselves and they came all the way to USA to make sure that I am, well settled and in comfort in my university before they come back to India. Before they come back to India, my dad had to visit a American company to sign a technical collaboration agreement. And in that, signing that collaboration agreement, after that, he was going to go back to India. So I distinctly remember vividly that I was standing at over there waving goodbye to my parents, and my parents too were sort of waving goodbye. My mom was weeping, my dad was smiling, but there were tears which he was holding back. And little did I know that that is the last time I will be seeing my dad. Because 2.5 months later, I got a call. I got a call from my mom, and she said that you have to come back to India immediately. And I couldn't understand why, and it was really baffling to me. But she said you have to come back to India immediately. Now, friends, in those days, the connectivity between India and America, we are talking in 87, was not much. And I found myself boarding Pakistan International Airlines, and it took the long route to come to India. It cost me a lot of time a few days later. And in spite of being the only son, I could not attend my father's funeral. I was down, I was dejected, I was depressed. I did not want to go back to America and leave my mom alone. But my mom, she insisted. She said, nothing of it. You have to complete your education. That's how dad would have wanted it. And so I was off to America, in a very cold America, in the month of January. And my mom, in the meantime, she sold off her jewelry, whatever money she got from the insurance, she used that to pay for my education. And she went and joined that business which my dad had left behind, a little business. And she held that fort, hoping in hopes that her only son, after graduating, returns back to India. So after that, I completed my education in America. And as soon as I got done, I had made up my mind to come back to my mom and our motherland. I returned back to India. Friends, I ended up coming to the office in a company that was named after me by my father. So you can imagine how difficult it was, because I was the youngest guy over there. And there were uncles and aunties in there, so-called, because when I used to accompany my dad to the office as a little baby, it was very tough to kind of, be in that situation. It was a time also that India had just about gone bankrupt a couple of years ago. And we were taking loan from IMF and things like that. And my friends in America had warned me, that things are going to be tough in India. And they were the ones who were guiding me not to return to India. But friends, Christopher Columbus came looking for India and he had discovered America. But when I went to America, from a distance, I fell in love with India. You see, when you are away, your absence does make the heart grow fonder. And when I was in America, I
Even
used to subscribe. I used to subscribe to this magazine, which was called India Abroad. I think it was there was some connect with the Indian consulate over there or embassy, and they were giving the inputs. And they were talking about the liberalization program that India would soon be coming up with. And I was reading of all the wonderful things that are happening in our country, because very India-centric magazine which I was reading, and that kind of motivated me. And so I decided to return to India with hope as my only Brahmastra. And when I came back, friends, things were, as I said, really tough. It was a very small company. We had 5 employees and 25 workmen. And that was an era, as you recall, of unions. And we Shaw also had a union. There was nothing really exceptional in our company. We had one 286 computer, by the way. That was the only real asset we had. And we used to keep it in a corner, and we used to kind of put a nice cloth around it. It looked like a very nice Indian bride. But that's the only real asset we had. And with this 25 workmen with the union, things were really tough. And I was just trying to learn the ropes along the way, trying to just manage, survive, learning everything as I go about, but nothing very exceptional. In the meantime, I slowly started, working and brought in some of the products that the collaboration agreement which my father had signed with an American company, and somehow they had retained it. And I kept on introducing some products, but nevertheless, we were not known in the industry. We were just kind of growing a little bit. And at that time, I got a sudden call from the president of that American company saying, Kevin, the patents on our products are over. And so we are now going to be off for sale. We are going to sell the company. And sure enough, a few days later, the American company with whom we had a technical collaboration, it got sold. Now, friends, that was a real bad news for us. Why? Because we were making these very technically intensive products, and most of our customers were in the PSU sector, companies that call themselves India, Indian, Bharat, Hindustan. But all these companies in that era were a very different kind of company. They would, what they would do is that they would want a technical backup from a foreign company, and therefore they said that we will have to reject you. Now, I explained to them that, listen, the patents have expired, and frankly, you've never seen an American. You've always seen me. We've been, we've absorbed the technology. We've been with them for so many years. We've been offering to you. But they told me that, Kevin, you are like the dispenser outside the doctor, like a compounder. The doctor behind you is dead, and we cannot consider you anymore. Now, this was the darkest period in my life. I perhaps thought that we are going to collapse because we had, completely cut out from the government companies, and most of our business is in petroleum refineries, petrochemical, chemical, fertilizers, was all dependent on the largest buyer at the time was the government companies. Friends, Providence has its ways, and something which I had not thought of happened. When all was dark, someone put the light at the end of my dark tunnel. There was this international global tender. It was a tender from an Italian company. The collaboration agreement no more there. I was now free to quote outside of India, which earlier we had a restrictive term with our American collaborator. We could go out. And this project was very huge. Frankly, we were very uncomfortable even bidding for it, but we were not being considered in India. In fact, we felt that we were not really even qualified, to be honest with you. But we still took a chance because we were really sinking. And we bid for the project. And it so happened, friends, that we happened to be the lowest bidder. The director of the Italian company told me that you are the lowest bidder and therefore we are seriously considering you. But we have an issue. I have been given to understand that you've never made this equipment of such a large diameter. So why should we consider you? And he was right. I don't know what came over me, but I told him, sir, you Italians make the best pizza in the world. You make pizzas in all diameters, in all sizes, and they are sold all over the world. The diameter of the pizza doesn't matter. What matters is that the pizza is consumed one bite at a time through the mouth. Our equipment, sir, are made in parts, small parts. And I will offer you inspection as a special case of each and every part, 100% of it. And I assure you that when these parts will be assembled, the whole will be equal to the sum of the parts. I will make sure that I will give you the best quality to your satisfaction. And these parts are finally put inside vessels into columns, and there's a small hole on the top of a window, and these parts are inserted through these windows and then put into the tower, and they are assembled inside. So I assure you, our equipment will be the best you've ever had. It seems I was able to sell my pizza to this Italian director. Friends, he then turned around and said that this is a very prestigious job. No matter what you are saying, if you fail, we will sue you. I told him, I'm willing to take the challenge, but what will you give me if I am able to execute the job on time and in great quality? And he said, I really cannot give you anything besides the payment for your job, which you execute. That's all. You understand my limitations. I said, I understand, but you have something which you don't realize. You have the kindness of appreciating someone who does a good job. If I do a good job, if and if only if I do a good job, will you be kind enough to give me a testimonial that we've done a good job? He said, okay. And so we took the challenge. And friends, we did what we did. And we eventually did have that certificate, and we cherish it even today. But there's a story behind this story. How did we do that? It is true that we had bitten into this big pizza more than we could chew. As I said, we were not very comfortable. There was a lot of unease in doing this job. We were extremely nervous even when we got the job. We were nervous before, we are nervous when we got the job. It so happened, at the time, there was this movie, a very patriotic movie called Lagan. It was a movie, as you all, some of you may recall, that the movie was about this ragtag cricket team from India who had never really played cricket before. And they were put up for challenge against the cantonment team of the British Army. And this team, they got together, they did what they did, and eventually they did beat this British cantonment cricket team. And that was the real triumph over adversity. I was so enthused with that movie. I said, this is like exactly what's happening in my life. So the next day, I called up the theater and I arranged to take my entire office and my workmen to go and see that movie. And we saw the movie. And then we came back and we called ourselves Team Lagan. And we said, we are no different. We got little talents here and there, but we need to work together as a team, a real team. And we became what we would call a motivated fused block, extremely well aligned. I was also in my element and I did what I did. And finally, we managed to get that certificate. Now, what that does is that This tender, which was an international tender, we kind of qualified for that. We executed very well. We got that certificate. It opened the doors for us in India because now the same customers who had refused to consider us were amazed that an Italian company had placed their confidence on us and they started buying from us. We started growing. Business started coming in. It was coming in at a speed far higher than we were able to manage. India was really shining at that time. The GDP growth rate was running around 8% plus. I'm talking, during the Vajpayee era. They had even coined a term called India Shining. But it so happened, friends, there were so many projects at the time because, all the world, the economies were growing, that there was lots of demand for engineers across the world, including in India. And suddenly there were more projects than we could manage. There were more projects than the people in India. And we were losing people. I was collecting resignation letter after resignation letter, and the pile was building up. And I thought that my company would collapse because now I had taken so many jobs and I was losing people. I was not able to hold people. I gave them a salary increase once, twice, thrice in a given year. It did not work. There was a huge demand. The tagline, friends, of my company was chemical process products. Chemical process products. And in order to design these chemical process products, we needed to employ chemical processing engineers. In that department, just about everybody left. It is the most critical department. There was just this one person remaining. And that one person, the last man standing, was a girl in her early 20s with hardly any experience. You can imagine how tough things were. Let's take a break from my story. And what I want to tell you, friends, that sometimes life comes from outside the syllabus, stares you straight in the face and shoots you at point blank, range. And at such a stage, you gotta do what you gotta do and graduate from the University of Hard Knocks. We'll get to that a little later. I want to, at this stage, share with you an American idiom, which is very popular. Americans say that a lot. Some of you may have heard of it. The best invention since sliced bread. The best invention since sliced bread. It so happened that on 6 July 1928, in Chillicothe, Missouri, somebody took the bread and sliced it. And lo and behold, a sandwich was born and fast food became. And it completely transformed the way bread was consumed in America. You see, bread had been around for many years. In its crude fashion, it had been around, but as a loaf of bread. And it required people to sit around it, maybe, tear it apart, put butter, gravy, whatever, and eat it. But now when you slice it, new realms of possibilities were there. And today we, of course, have McDonald's and Subway sandwich and whatever have you as global. But until that day, the question that begs us is that why is it that up to 6th July 1928, what happened in Missouri, USA, nobody had sliced the bread? Well, I have what I call as the law of recognition. And the law of recognition states that recognition produces a fixed way of being. Let that sink in. Recognition produces a fixed way of being. If you are introduced to life as a loaf of bread, you will approach it as a loaf of bread. And then you will treat it as a loaf of bread, and everything will happen as a loaf of bread. Until someone comes around, slices that, and new realms of possibilities arise, changes the whole equation. And I say that I call this phenomena as the generalized faulty belief, because everyone's doing it. They just think in a particular way and they believe that's the only way. They believe that's the only way. And in real world, there are lots of generalized faulty beliefs. Think about this. You are walking and a black cat crosses your path. What do? You believe better to go on the other side and take the long route, because that black cat is going to give you bad luck. In business, we have many such superstitions, many such generalized faulty beliefs. Consider this. If I train my team, if I train my team, there will be train drain. People will leave. So no training is good behavior, because training is like a black cat. It brings bad behavior. Let's get back to my story. So situation you recall is that my business was booming. There were lots of orders, but I did not have the relevant people for it. I was losing people every day. And in one particular critical department, there was just this one last man standing, and the last man happened to be a girl in her 20s with barely a year or so of experience. At that time, friends, I actually thought that my head would explode. I have a crick in my neck since those days. It really put me through a lot of stress. It was as if I was falling from a cliff and I was, swinging my arms wildly to catch on even to a blade of grass to kind of save myself. I was, my image was so shattered. My ego was so deflated that I was willing to learn from anywhere, everywhere. I was suddenly open to listening to people, to look at leaders. You see, I realized that in that moment of vulnerability, that I have been too focused on myself and my growing business. I was inspired by my father. I was living his dreams, and I was, working to make good for the sacrifices that my mother had made, and doing good also. Business was growing. But how can that motivate someone else beyond the point? My business was growing. My narrative was not. My business was growing. My narrative was not. And I was not able to hold the people together. I knew I had to do something. That era, as I told you, was of a very strange during those 4.5 Vajpayee years, where back to back certain incidents were happening when there was a certain fervor of patriotism in the country. As soon as this government was formed, it was a coalition government, but notwithstanding the coalition government, they went ahead and had blasted the Pokhran bomb, if you guys remember. And there was a fervor of patriotism in the country. After, it was very vulnerable situation, and Americans put a sanction on us. But we overcame the sanction because we came up with the resurgent India bonds, and world over people poured in dollars to India. And we kind of survived. And the next thing we saw was that America realized that India cannot be contained, and Bill Clinton, the president, came to India. He invited Vajpayee to America. Both the presidents in each other's parliaments gave a speech. Vajpayee went to Lahore now to make friends with Pakistan, who had also gone ahead with the nuclear blast. It's all events were happening back to back in the span of 3 to 6 months of each other. And just that got over, and immediately a few months later, Kargil happened. The Kargil got over, and then we finally again made friends, and we called Musharraf to India for having these discussions at Agra. Let's be friends, guys. This makes no sense. But our IC-1814 was hijacked to Kanda. And then finally they attacked us on the parliament. We were going ahead to attack Pakistan for the first time in the name of Operation Parakram. And you can imagine this oscillation was continuously happening. And I was trying to distract myself away from the business because I was in a mess. I was also locked into these stories unfolding before us. And in that moment of indiscretion, in those moments of indiscretion, I realized that I am extremely patriotic. I'm very, very patriotic. You see, my best moments had happened when I had taken my team to watch that Lagan movie. Deep down, I was very patriotic. Many years ago, my mom had asked me which is the best country in the world. I was a little baby, maybe 5 years old. I just about learned the names of countries and flags and all those things. And I told her America, and she said, "Why America?" I said, "I don't know, but all good things come from America." Because that time I had this Mickey Mouse toothbrush. That was the image of, and I had this crayon book with very beautiful pictures of, you know, uh, very glossy pictures of all these cartoon characters. So my mom had turned around and told me that, "Do you love me?" And I said, "Of course I love you." She said, "How much?" I said, "I love you a lot." And I vividly recall my mom said, "If something happens to me and if I become handicapped, if something happens to me, will you still love me?" And as a little baby, that was too much for me to bear. And then she told me that just the way I am your mother, your country is also your mother. It is your motherland. And, and all this was there in my subconscious, and constantly these things would just spurt out. And I realized that in certain moments, I am getting extremely activated and I'm extremely patriotic. And so I decided to make patriotism as the core value of the company. I began to talk about it throughout the company. I began to engage my team around this core value of patriotism. We agreed that if there's anything good about India, we should share amongst us. And that became as much a point of discussion. And finally, we came to the conclusion that we are going to make sure that with whatever little resources we have, we need to make sure that we are the best company out there from India. We should be known. We should try and do what we can. We began to get it, friends, that the security of the country and the prosperity of the company are interlinked, and vice versa. Now, I want to ask you at this stage that think deep. Just if you think deep, there is some core value in you, and you should be able to recognize that. If you deeply think about it, you should resonate with it. It should have three components. One, you should resonate with those values. The second is you should be able to share it with others, which means that it should be having a universal appeal in the circle of influence around you. And the third component of that is that you should not only wear it in your heart and in your sleeve, but you must be able to communicate that effectively. And why do you need to have this particular purpose-driven company where you have a core value and a vision to make the company the best company or whatever? It's an aspirational driven vision, because that purpose holds as your North Star. You see, at any given point, your company would be meandering. There'll be pulls and pushes from various departments. But that acts as your North Star, guiding you in the right direction. And when you've taken a challenge, a big challenge of making, say, your company as the best company or whatever is your personal, aspirational goal, all the small issues that happen in the company, they pale in comparison. So one of the first things I did was I put the Indian national flag on my table. We began to get information of all that's good happening in the country, and we put it on a notice board. We started treating our vendors as our vendor partners, and we started developing them. We need to have good vendors in India. We need to be proud of Indian vendors. They had issues, we know that. But I've been someone's vendor and I was not accepted. And so we started working with them to kind of educate them. We started to bring in certain ideas which we had learned along the way. We started engaging the students. After all, students are our future citizens. We started talking this even to our customers and even on our international customers. In our brochure, we actually printed India, the next emerging destination. We were always talking about India wherever we go. And when you do these things, it is not a distraction from what you're out there to make your business run. Magic begins to happen. What is amazing is that our company started getting registered with all the engineering companies and all the multinational companies out there. We began to be recognized as a brand. Our product specifications was mentioned in the customer inquiry, and it required other companies to come and match that as an equivalent. And we earned ourselves lots of those testimonials and certificates. What is when amazing becomes astounding, because by doing all these things, now we had much larger factory with more than 250 workmen, but we never had any union. The union that we had just melted away, because we also involved our workmen in doing some of these things. No employees left us, and those who had left us, a few of them, when they realized how the company has transformed, they came back to work for us. 12 very important employees who had left us came back and worked for us. And astounding becomes astonishing, friends, because when we were doing this, a multinational listed on NASDAQ from Scandinavia, Sweden, approached us and made an offer to buy our company. They told us that this is one of the best companies we have seen, because they did the evaluation. They had come to India under the Prime Minister's Make in India program. Sweden was a partner country to that program. And when they came in, eventually they did the due diligence and we decided to sell the business. They told us that your culture is so compatible with the international. We made 34 acquisitions. This is one of the best acquisitions. There is absolutely, your team are aligned to the international standard. So at a level, I must offer to you, because we were nationalistic, we were also very internationalistic. Because we were a very traditional company, we were also very technologically cutting edge. And that's what helped. And they did not remove the people who were there in the company, which is a big fear most people have. After some time, when my term got over, I moved on, and here I am talking to you guys. But as I moved out, something happened. You remember Last Man Standing? That girl in her 20s? But she was still there. She was a little older now. And they made her the managing director of my company. It paid that she stuck around. So friends, in the end, what I want to tell you, that in life, there are always going to be issues. In a given company, it is always lots of struggles. But you can only grow through what you go through. It's a stormy, dark night at any given point in a company. It's always, because of the moving parts, something or the other is getting a friction. Nice, happy, bright, and sunny is only in a dead company in the heaven. In conclusion, friends, what I want to tell you is that please go deep down. Deserve the person that you want to be. Find your core values. Communicate that effectively. Share it with everyone. Mention your purpose and get these people enrolled. Get out of the way. Stop being a chief engineer, chief everything officer. Start being chief energizing officer. You need to provide energy to your team. That's your job as a leader on the top. That's all you have to do. Provide the energy in the form of resource or whatever it may be. And allow your team to come forward, volunteer, and contribute. If you do that, I assure you, they will work with you, giving their blood, sweat, and tears. They will never leave you. Why? Because such a company is a company which is not only just self-serving, it is also self-fulfilling. Thank you. What we can do now, friends, is that we can take a 30-second or 1 minute, uh, you know, time to think of the questions that you guys have, and I'll be very happy to answer. You can ask which whatever opened up for you through my story, or including anything else outside to do with business. I would be very happy to sort of offer whatever is there, and whatever I offer is going to be like I'll be laying it on a buffet. You can pick up what you want. It's not that I'm a guru out here or anything, but I've gone through a journey. I really thought I should share this. I've written a book on this, and I would urge you guys. There are lots of things that we did. I mentioned in there. So take a minute, write down your questions, ask anything you want. I'll be very happy to take your questions. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll just drink a glass of water, and then we are on. Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. Hang on, friends. He'll be back in another 30 seconds, so we can move forward with the question and answers. Everyone ready? Can we start taking questions?
Absolutely. Yes. I had to stand and give a talk because that's on.
I understand. Yeah.
So now maybe I can sit down. I'm just used to standing and talking. So,
Yes, no issues. Yeah, Naresh, please go on, Naresh. You have a
hi,
question?
Naresh. How are you?
Naresh, can you please ask your question, please?
I think he's on mute.
Yeah,
Ah,
hi Kevin. Sorry, I was on mute. And long time no see.
Yeah,
And I have basically two questions to you.
sure.
Uh, what are you doing now? You've not told us that. And second thing is, did you plan to sell the company or was it sudden?
A very
And
good
please call
question.
on me when you come to Chennai.
Yeah. So, uh, in the introduction, as he mentioned, that Gopiji mentioned, that I am now a coach. I coach entrepreneurs, and I try to co-create solutions with them because one of my qualifications, which I say, is that I am not any institute certified coach. There's a certifying institute which you take some 6 months or 1 year course and you become a coach. No, as I said, I have graduated from the University of Hard Knocks. I When I was running my business, I had the allergies, if I may say, to consultants and those guys, because I say at the end of the day, I'm running business. So I really appreciate the what the entrepreneur goes through, and I give them a good hearing, and then I say what fits for you, because ultimately it's the entrepreneur who has to run the business. I cannot have a talk with the guy every 15 days and for 1 hour, and then it's gonna start working. I try to work with the guy as a co-create those solutions, and that's what I offer to them. And then, of course, I also help in core team alignment. Uh, I prefer to work one-on-one with entrepreneurs also. I do give talks at various forums. And your next question is, what's your next question about? You're on mute. Sorry. I'm No, you're still on mute.
Oh, sorry. Did you plan to sell the company or
Yes, yes.
was it sudden?
No, it was never sold. It was an unsolicited offer. I was happy doing my business. The Make in India program, the Sweden's Prime Minister was here in Mumbai along with him 100 business folks. They looked us up and they had obviously heard of us. They were from a similar industry. So they made a offer to us to work together. So we said sure. And then they said that we would like to do have some guys come over and see what all the capabilities you have. And they went back and reported that, my God, these guys have a very nice, we had a very good factory. It was a very international. I had seen such a factory in USA. It was there, and I wanted to make that factory. Anyone who comes to a factory, we wanted to have them feel like it's not in India. It's like a great. And today I say that great factories are being built in India, but we were a little bit ahead of time. And they saw the engineering capability. So they were going to come for a day. They extended their stay for 3 days. They did a 3-day audit, and they went back and said that we need to in fact work very closely with them and have a collaboration with them, where we will be giving them certain technology and all that. And then one thing led to another, and finally they dropped the question. My son, is from a different line, so he was not keen. So I said, you know what, let the best person have it, and it was anyways under Make in India, which means that they will bring in their products and sell into India, or they will use India as a source for it is an export commitment for exporting outside of India. So they're going to use India as a base. And so that's what it is.
Yeah, Srividya, go on, Srividya.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you very much. That was an amazing presentation because usually presentations or it's usually PowerPoint driven, so there'll always be a PowerPoint. But yours was, a story, so that really changed the thing. Because I think any presentation is always associated with some sort of teaching, but yours was a story. So really enjoyed that, and you just
I will
answered
just
my
take the
question.
liberty to interject here. In my book, which I've written, I also
What
said
is the
that
name of your book?
when you read the
Yeah.
book, I'm not telling you any morals. I always say that morals are to be derived. Morals are not to be told. I'm not a moralist that you have to do like that. As I said, whatever I'm offering is like a my story, but everyone has a story actually. It's just that you need to bring the contextualization in there. That's all. But go ahead, please ask your question.
Yeah, so you answered my question because I was worried that, being so nationalist, how can you sell your company to a Swedish company? But then you've answered my question because it's not like technically you have sold it. It is more like you're collaborating with them. So that was what my concern, or that was what my comment was about. Yeah.
The Atmanirbhar program, which India has launched, we are inviting the world to help us become Atmanirbhar. A business is not the enemy of the government. It is an ally. It pays tax, it employs people, it brings in new technologies. And so, in fact, the Atmanirbhar program, they are going around the world asking the world to invest over here. And I think that is very, very important for us to get that. If we don't do that, then we will become China Nirbhar, basically. All the factories will go to China. And I think that we really need to make sure that we shut down their factories and everything moves here. That's very important for us. So this is the old thinking where we said that we cannot buy any defense equipment from our own people. Private sector cannot. We need to import it. Now that's not Atmanirbhar. So a lot of my mindset has changed. We are some of us are still locked in the era of the last century. But today we have to do everything in India. Without manufacturing, we cannot take our workmen to the next level.
Okay, thank you. And what is the name of your book?
Mr. Gopi will share it after the session.
Yes, I will share it. I will share it.
Okay,
In one line,
thank
I
you.
will say the caption. It is called Unshackle the Elephant in the Mind. Unshackle the Elephant in the Mind.
Sure. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
May I ask a question, sir?
Yeah, please go on, sir.
Sir, may I know the reason why initially people start leaving your organization, and what was the uh, steps that made them to stick with you forever later?
Very good question. Thank you, Ramesh.
Thank you.
So, you see, as I said in my talk also, that earlier I was only very transactional. Okay, I was not strategical at all. I was just saying that okay, this is the business and you need to work, and I was only looking at the skill set. In my book, I in fact mentioned on how to employ people. I was running an engineering company, but trust you me, I did not have engineers everywhere. I had people with the technical bent who we made engineers over here and got them enrolled over there. So there are many things we did. Simple thing is, why should anyone work for me? Is the question we should ask ourselves. Why should anyone work for me? And then what happens that you will get out of the business of being the chief everything officer, trying to always convince everyone, stay by, I'm giving you more salary, how much increment you want, and you will start enrolling basically. But it starts with you. that what am I offering to the person? If I am going to offer him a salary, then essentially it gets nullified. He's offering me service, I am offering him salary. Okay, and anyone can beat you with that 1 rupee extra on the other side of the street. So you need to bring in something more. It is working from a model of scarcity. That's the only thing I can offer is salary. I have nothing else to offer. And the person says to himself, why should he work for you? The person will work for you if they think that you are making wonderful products, if they feel that they are secured in this company because this company has a evolved culture, and third, I have a wonderful guy on the top which gives me some hint that I have a secured future over here. Nobody, because people are, there's always going to be pull outside. Somebody is going to pull. I'll tell you something which will a lot of people don't believe it, but in our company profile, which we used to have the pictures of all our top managers. We used to train them. We were not the highest salary payers, and they're all pictures with their experience was mentioned in our company profile. We used to show off our people that this is the kind of team we have built, and all of them have got calls from headhunters, including from our competition, including Gopiji's former employer, that please leave the company and join us, and they have not gone because they really understand that it's a lot of fun working together. You have to provide what I have written in my book as a gestalt mindset, that the whole is equal to more of the parts, and each part finds relevance subject to that larger whole is there in the company, which is the living grand narrative you need to build in the company.
Excellent, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, next question, please.
Hello.
Yeah, please go on. Please
Yeah.
go on.
It is really wonderful to hear from you, your experience and your focus, and you wanted to share the content, which are very valuable for the people who wanted to learn and lead. My question is, according to the current scenario, how much it is important for a business to sustain in the environment of technological penetrations and adoptions, because day by day there are a lot of new things are coming. Those who are not in that kind of way to transform or getting into that kind of situation, they could not able to sustain. There are so many examples, but what is your focus for the next 5 years to 10 years? How many businesses may be sustained in this kind of radical changes, which are going to change a lot?
Dr. Ramanathan,
Yeah.
you look older than me, perhaps. I'm sure you are. And
Yeah.
you've seen more, you have more experience than I do. And you know that nothing is ever written on the wall. All these things keep coming every once in a few years, but then people survive. When we've had many, many things. When COVID was there, people said, what's going to happen? Okay. And this, we are talking through Zoom. It's a one of the byproduct of COVID was that people were surprised that they have not collapsed. In fact, it gave rise to more business, sort of. So yes, your question is valid because today we are going through some sort of a transition. Okay, but I'm not a fortune teller about future. What happens is that at any given time in point, there is always sunrise and sunset industries. Okay, so some industry may experience that sunset, some will automatically sunrise, but ultimately, whatever you do, the human element cannot be, ignored. And one of the things that we have forgotten is that, that being human is your cutting edge, actually offering to the world. It's your competitive edge. Well, I'm assuming you are talking of AI and all these things which are happening. Well, what is happening is that while they are trying to put feelings into robots, so robots are now having expressing feelings, but people are becoming like robots, and that should not be done. So you need to realize that ultimately, what has been your success story? When I was going down in my business and trying to figure out what I have to do, one of the offering which I have is that there is something that you have done. Write your achievements and blessings. It may be a race you ran as a child with a spoon and a lemon over there. Just have a collection of your achievements, small achievements. I realized that I had a Lagan moment back then. Okay, and that told me that there's something in it. I was in my element. I could, You bring in the human element. As I said, being a human is actually a competitive edge. We need to accept that. And you bring yourself completely into the game. Then what happens is that you, even through down, you will survive, basically. And there are certain things which you cannot help it. That is a law of the nature. So as I said, it's a Rubik's Cube right now the world is going through with all these. So when you do a Rubik's Cube solving, some side is getting messed up. But in the long run, somebody has an idea on where to take it, basically, which we are not having access to that person.
True.
I hope I have been able to answer your
So
question without really answering it.
prepare to accept the change or making the way how to get the strength from the collaborations or some joint venture with other competitors. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And inspiration is all around. You see, I got it from a movie. Okay. You can get it from all over. It's just that, okay, we can do something like this. How about that? And then build a story, be a storyteller. That's what the human being can do.
Very true.
Jay, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Gopi. Kevin, you have had a wonderful experience throughout your life, and you have some wonderful inspirational moments to turn your situations around. I am in an organization. I'm myself. I'm a partner in the company which is manufacturing induction heating equipment, and we are in existence since 1969. The organization, that is, and it has not been able to grow. But hearing your story, I am sure the main reason I find is I'm not able to galvanize my team into action. But whatever you have told me and guided me, and I'm sure you also mentioned how to hire in your book, so I'll get that from the book itself. But even then, if you can give me a couple of hints how to empower the team better, I mean, I can definitely do the Lagan thing, but any other tips that you would want to give me?
The Lagan worked for me, it did not work for you. Each one has their own. You see, you need to go deep into your life and figure out, because you'll always find some patterns. And consultants like to say that learn from your mistakes. Okay. I say that, learn from your achievements. I just told the earlier question, because there's a pattern over there. There are certain things which are working. And these are, when I say patterns, which means these are human patterns over there. So there's a lot of knowledge actually within you only. And so do not go with somebody else's core value. Each one has a different core value, but every core value is fungible. Okay, meaning that it is not it is malleable and ductile to suit the situation. You can bring kindness in the middle of the war also. Okay, I'll give you a simple example, which again I have offered a bit in my book, that we recently had Operation Sindoor, for example, right? So as a citizen, you will not kill anyone, otherwise you will be hanged. As a soldier in a war situation, you better kill. In fact, the more you kill, the more awards you will get. Correct? Right? But now, while trying to kill the Pakistani and the Pakistani trying to kill you, it so happens that you are able to capture this Pakistani alive. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to kill him or not? Go ahead, answer that, Mr. Jayesh Bhai. You have captured him. His gun has fallen down. You have captured him. What are you going to do? Quickly. No, you're on mute.
I would try to find out the secrets or the plans that the Pakistanis have, if he has any.
Okay, he tells you the secret. What are you going to do after that? Are you going to kill him or are you going to leave him? He was going to kill you a minute ago. It just so happened while trying to kill you, his gun fell down. What happened?
Yeah, no, I will have to kill him. Yes.
You'll have to kill him. No, you cannot kill him. Your own government will put you, behind bars, because there is a certain convention we have. Okay, your job is to win the war and eliminate anything that blocks it. Anyone who blocks it, he's not able to block you anymore.
Correct.
So he's your prisoner of war. You better treat him like a prisoner. You bring your kindness over there. So I'm just giving you an example. At every situation, you will find moments where you can use it and apply it.
Yes, right.
Correct.
Okay. Fine.
So once the war is over, he'll return, because he was and if he, by the way, if he so dies, you will give him an honorable funeral, because one soldier respects another, and that's the message you give to your own people, that you see, we are a professional army. And by the way, they have done that in every war.
Correct.
In Kargil, they send helicopters to bring the dead bodies from the hills. down below, and then the Maulvis have given them the funeral. Sorry, they took the Maulvis up there,
Right.
give them the funeral, basically. In helicopter, we spend money to do that.
Right. Yes.
That's
Got
a,
that. Thank you. Thank you.
so there's lots of connect. You see, you understand how there's lots of inspiration in the society,
Right.
stories everywhere.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, Ashraf, how are you?
Hey Ashraf, where are you? Which country?
Somewhere in the world.
Sorry?
I'm still somewhere in the world.
Okay. I'm glad
I'm
there's
in,
an international audience here.
I'm in Singapore. Okay.
Okay.
I know you long, so I know your capability and your achievements. I'll not congratulate you because you're much above that. Quick one. If your struggling entrepreneur comes to you for advice, what three things you will tell him to follow?
If a struggling entrepreneur comes to me for advice, one of the first things I must also tell you that anyone who comes to me, I do not necessarily take those people as my client. Okay, because I want to make sure that the person is anyways, see, you should be truly struggling. A truly struggling is somebody who has all the right intentions. So first of all, I'll check the person's intentions, because without intention, nothing is going to happen. Second thing is that how does he view the world? He has to have a view that the world, he cannot be a die-hard cynic. Okay, you know that story about this joke, it is that this fellow goes to the doctor saying that, doctor, I have a very terrible disease. If I touch over here, my cheek is paining. If I touch my shoulder is paining. If I touch my arm is paining. Okay. And the doctor said, you never come across such a case. Wherever you have a pain across the body, we'll have to take a whole X-ray. And then on X-ray, they realize that it is the finger that is fractured. And, that's where the problem is not. So you cannot, the guy, I have a conversation with the guy. And the guy reveals himself, who he is. In a conversation, see, you've been taught, in school, you've been taught alphabets. You've been taught vowels. You have been taught words, maybe even sentences. Nowhere in the world they teach you how to have a conversation. That you bring to the table, you reveal yourself, what's inside you. And you come to know that is he a cynic, or is there a sense of, is he a perpetual victim?
No.
Oh my God, I was born. Why was I born? That kind of way. Yeah, I have a problem with everyone. I can't find anything good over here. I hate my customer. I hate my employees. I hate my wife. I hate my stories. I hate myself. Sort of. So intention is required. His view to the world is required. Number two. And number three is that, does the person truly believe? I mean, truly, is the person is having it? Is he a dreamer or not? Does he have a true belief? So belief is a feeling of certainty. It is not guarantee, right? It is not, a belief is a feeling of certainty. And then what is the effort are you doing? Because you can have a lot of belief. People believe that the country should be clean. Go ask everybody will say, should the country be clean? Everybody will say, yes, I believe the country should be clean. You don't need someone to stand on the Red Fort and say, we need to have a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. So belief is not behavior, basically. Correct? So this is very important for us to get. So I need to understand the guy's intention. I need to have a person's worldview, basically, his personal view. And third is that, show me the efforts that you've done to put your belief into action. Then it's truly a belief. Otherwise, it's just a faith. It's not a belief.
Thanks.
I will have a nice conversation with the guy, and then I will excuse myself if I find that he's lacking in all three. You need to pass all three. Yes, people will come to you. People used to come to me because they know this is a very friendly managing director, a very friendly guy, and we had a very open door policy. They would come to me and they would start saying all these things. Then I used to always ask them, so what have you done? Have you gone to your manager? This, that, what did happen? You can tell some people are just coming here to kind of, come close to the managing director. They have not really done any effort. They're just trying to win some favors. So you should always give a very sound hearing to the person. Have a conversation. Ashraf?
Ashraf, Ash, you there?
Okay, never mind. Who's
Yeah,
next?
I'm there. Thanks. I just said thanks because there's sound around me. That's why I mute myself. Thanks, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ashraf. Ashraf, we'll catch up later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mutraj, Arun, Malik sir.
Muttaraj will want to talk to him quietly, separately, man.
Huh?
I want to talk to the other gentleman, Jay Shah, who talked about the induction business as well. Anyway, we'll have a chat with Kevin later. It's something
Oh,
that
yeah.
I need to do quietly. Yeah, we'll connect them later. Thanks.
He is Kevin Musamutra is joining from Melbourne.
Oh, wonderful.
No, from Brisbane. From Brisbane.
Sorry,
Australia.
Good evening to you.
Yes, good evening or good afternoon. It's still not crossed midday, so it's okay.
Good afternoon. Okay.
Yeah, thanks,
4th of the
Kevin.
afternoon,
Thanks.
I guess, almost.
Yeah, it's 4:15. Yeah.
Malik sir.
Mr. Muturaj has a question, or I thought he is in the recruitment agency. That's why he has said I'll contact.
No. I'm not in recruitment.
I'll solve your HR problems.
I'm doing a new business that would require certain things in terms of electric batteries. So it's not the forum to be discussing that. So I guess when Gopi asked about it, I just went. Yeah, that's all right. Not to worry.
Share the number. You can talk. You can talk to Mr. Kevin.
And also that other gentleman, Jayesh.
Yeah, I'll share both.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
share both the numbers. I'll share both the numbers. No worries. Yes, sir. Malik sir, please go on.
No, I said that amazing to hear Kevin, and it's some has to learn how to speak. He said about words, conversation, and some know by acquisition. You go to, and some are born. So I think Kevin probably is born, but I think he did his commitment towards, and great. Wonderful to listen. Was the company who purchased was Munters?
Yes.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
Kevin, this is Mr. Malik from. He was former controller of finance at Winterthur, Sulza.
Okay.
Yeah, great. Wonderful to hear. And
we have also sold a lot to Sulza. See, this is the difference between an entrepreneur and MNC. They used to buy from me thinking, what is this guy going to do? And then they used to go and tell the customer that this fellow doesn't make good quality. And I said, but they are buying from me. Look at the purchase order. They don't think through so far. They want to save the quarter. We have to save our life. That's the difference.
Great. Kevin, what I liked was that I'm also like you. I never like to sit and speak. I like to stand, walk, a little bit, write on the board, and then you made it so informal and made it so wonderful. God bless you.
So Malikji, two things. One is, of course, sitting is the new smoking. That's what they say. We were not meant to sit, actually. Just when you are sort of eating or something. Otherwise, more or less, you are supposed to be in a slow motion most of the time. But TK, we are in this world. We are not going to complain with what it is. It is. We have to adopt, accept, acknowledge, and then sort of go ahead. About your speaking, what you said that I will tell you one thing. One of the key slogan, if you can say, or whatever in my book, the offering, the nugget, is that effective communication leads to evolved culture, and that brings about enabled strategy. You see, because until you can have all the strategies you want, until you don't have a team, evolved culture, it's not going to happen. And to evolve the culture, you need to communicate. So effective communication leads to evolved culture that brings about enabled strategy. Otherwise, it's completely a disabled, disarrayed strategy, basically. And words. So I was not a speaker, nor am I. I am a student of leaders. And what I found is that when you speak, words have a connotation and a denotation. Okay. So words have a lot of energy in them. They are basically energy. When you say emotion, they generate emotion, energy in motion. So when you speak, people are imagining, you are recreating some imagination in them, basically. And the quality of your communication is going to decide the quality of their imagination. Okay. And therefore, you are able to change the conscience in the room. And that's your job. You have to change the conscience in the room. Your job is to bring back a certain benchmark. And how are you going to do that? So it's very simple. You need to be a student of leaders. That's all. Then one day automatically people will follow you. That's what it is.
Yeah, true, very true. So where are you based? Are you in Chennai or you are in
Mumbai? No, I'm in Mumbai.
Oh, okay. I live in Pune. So I'll keep in touch whenever I'm in Mumbai. I come regularly for the Institute of Directors or mentor my board. I'm a mentor for both of them. I also teach for the aspiring independent directors, and maybe one day we will also look for hearing you again in some of the topics about the future readiness that is required in a board aspirant, especially with respect to more forward leaning rather than looking at the past. So let's see. I'll take number from Gopi sir.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I'll do
Thank
that.
you.
I'll do
Thank you so much, Kevin. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
that. Yeah, Arun, Sanjay. Sanjay?
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Gopi sir. Actually, I have a sore throat. That
Oh, okay.
it was an excellent session, Kevin. I mean, a lot of insights. So the first thing is I'll try to get the book first. So thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sir Kasturi, sir?
You have a question? Reserve yourselves for questions. Compliments, I think we can skip. Thank you, but please feel free to ask a question. That'll enrich the session. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Kasturi Rajan, sir. Please go on.
Yeah, very interesting session. I can't control myself in complimenting your way of expressions about your personal life, how you could overcome those turmoils in your personal life when you joined your graduation in US, and then later on after coming over and taking over your company's helm of affairs, you face a lot of challenges. Of course, these are all very good takeaways for people like us and many entrepreneurs and the young startups. It's going to really help them. My question is, you could get the testimonial from the Italian company, and then that really helped you in turning around the company, getting good orders, and proving yourself to be technically competent, and building up around the cultural values and motivating your team. And even then the team could they went out, they got split, and then later on they realized, and then they came back because of the situation which you created inside the company, the environment, and the culture, the cultural value systems, and they got motivated and they joined. Now, my only question is, of course, the present situation. What I'm saying is, they don't value the Gen Next or the Gen Z. Are they really going to value those testimonials, and are they really having those cultural value systems and this kind of, the patriotism, and really you've contributed for the Atmanirbhar program, and it's really helped you in selling out your company to a Swedish company. Those things are really value added thing, which I feel that whether the same thing
What's
would
your
be.
question, sir? Yeah, what's your
My
question?
question is, are the next gen going to follow those systems? I mean, whether the cultural value system is still alive, or it's
Sure,
only.
I got your question.
Yeah.
See, contrary to the popular notion, I believe that Gen Next is, in fact, starving for a moral anchoring. Okay,
Right.
they're extremely distracted, and
Yeah.
the only thing is that we have somehow got so many generalized faulty beliefs. We believe that certain
Right.
things we cannot talk about. For example, professional and personal are separate. I never
Yeah.
did that in my company. I was always interested in knowing that is everything going okay in their lives or not. And you'll realize that a lot of these kids do not have anyone to share anything with. Now, the worry why we don't talk to them is because we feel that if we start talking to them quite close to us, the next thing they'll do is that they'll ask for an increment on 1st of April. Okay, now that
Yeah.
okay, you need to wear the right avatar. See, our culture is so rich.
Right.
Okay, you need to wear the right avatar in the right situation. So based on the what we call is that समय स्थल स्थिति संदर्भ संस्कृति से बनता है सिद्धांत करके डिसीजन लेना पड़ता है. It means what is the time, what is the place, what is the person, what is the context, what is the situation, what is the culture. based on which you need to take a decision on how you want to deal with this guy. You have to wear that avatar. So
Right.
when you get close to him, it is for the relevant purpose. How much to be close and how much distance to keep, you need to know. I mean, we all are taking so many avatars already. You are a different person as a husband, you are a different person as a son, as a different person as a neighbor, and a different as an employee, boss, whatever. Everywhere you are having, your language is changing to suit the purpose. Here also, within that avatar also, there are multiple roles you have to play. Okay, so
Right.
you need to get into their you need to have a conversation with them. They will start revealing themselves. They will tell you certain things. They'll confess to you certain things. You guide them. They'll appreciate it. They will not come into a situation where they come and give you a paper at evening. It used to happen earlier to me at 5:30 in the evening. They would come in, put in the paper because from tomorrow I'm not.
Right.
I have seen that also. And
Yeah.
and now I've also seen the time when they'll say that, sir, I'm here, but I want to be honest with you. I will be leaving in 6 months because I'm decided to study further.
Okay.
So then we would find someone, we would have handled the person, and because the person told, we would make sure the person is not punished for that.
Yeah.
See, that's what in my book there's a chapter called License to Lead.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot lead because out of a title or out of the certificate which you mentioned. You cannot lead that. Nobody cares for all that. This is just to sort of checkbox. Have you supplied anywhere? Yes. Has the customer been happy with it? Yes. Here's the certificate. So it is to answer the fools, if I may say at the most. It is not to answer human beings. It could be one of those, are you a robot or are you not? वो आता है ना अपना. That is what it is. So it's elimination, basically.
So Atmanirbhar program is really useful and helpful to the Indian Inc., is it?
No, let's not talk of that right now. Atmanirbhar, we all need to be Atmanirbhar. Okay. Because the big, but let me give you a secret of Atmanirbhar. The biggest maturity in the world is, people say, oh, you should not be dependent. Of course, you shouldn't not be dependent. You should not be dependent. But the opposite of dependent means what? You need to be independent. No, you need to make things interdependent.
Interdependent.
You need to have and you are interdependent. Are you not interdependent?
True. Yeah.
On your pune doesn't come to work, your whole office comes to a halt, because now your mood is point. Now they are not able to work to the effect. So you are interdependent.
Yeah. That's fine. Very good. I got it. Thank you so much.
Haripriya, Jagan.
Gopiji, if you have that, you can put on the chat the link of Amazon.
I already put it. I already posted. It's already
on
posted.
The chat? Okay.
Yes, on chat box. Yes.
Yeah, or WhatsApp group or whatever you have here.
Yeah. I'll anyway post it.
Kevin sir, a question puchunga. Don't mistake me. This is to create, to counter the illusions people have. If you go to your LinkedIn, your number of connections is so compared to what
which one are you seeing? The peer thought strategist. Peer thought strategist.
Yeah.
So I have people told me that I should be on LinkedIn, but I am not on LinkedIn.
I want to say that it is not necessary to have so many followers just on the social this thing. It is something beyond, and that proves that's what my principle normally. I never have a face-to-face book or whatever. It's about face-to-face, and that's the proof of that particular perception. I think you are the one which proves to say that. Great. I'm so happy on that.
Malik sir, today we are looking through Zoom, which is an unfortunate thing or a fortunate, that's different matter. But let's get one thing. By looking at the Niagara Falls, none of us will get soaked. Okay. So being physically there, is important. You can't email a handshake.
Thank you.
True. Yeah. Haripriya, Jagan. Anyone else? Question? Please unmute and ask your questions.
I think there are no more questions. Let us conclude, Mr.
Yes.
Yes. We'll conclude the session. Yeah. So,
I think Jayesh Bhai is also hungry, like me.
Yeah. So we draw. So as we draw this powerful session to a close, I would like to take a moment to reflect on the depth and authenticity we just experienced. Today, Mr. Kevin did not just speak, he shared with rare honesty and strategic insight. He invited us into his journey, reminding us that entrepreneurship is not merely about profits and plans, but about purpose, people, and perspective. This was not a presentation, it was a conversation. I'm sure it has stirred thought, sparked introspection, and planted seeds for transformation. On behalf of AABN Core Committee, I extend the deepest gratitude to Mr. Kevin Shah for his time, his wisdom, and his unwavering commitment to the entrepreneurial community. We also thank each of you, our guest partners and alumni, for being part of this journey and for continuing your support to AABN's mission to create enduring value through meaningful engagement. Let's carry forward the insights from today, unshackling the elephants in our own minds and stepping boldly into the future we are meant to build. Thank you until next week. Thanks, Mr. Kevin. Thank you for your time. Pleasure having you.
Thank you so much. And I want to say that I saw that connect today, change tomorrow. I think after 250, you have the liberty to say transform, because change is small, but eventually you transform. So you can you can change your slogan if you want to. Connect today, transform tomorrow.
Sure, we'll do that.
Or change today, connect tomorrow, and transform eventually. ऐसा करके कुछ you can think of something.
Yeah, I think Sujata has just logged in. Sujata, you're around?
I just saw her message. Yeah, I didn't know she logged on, but I'm also surprised. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you all. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Fantastic session.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Bye.